This is Emery Moorhead from the 1985 Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears, and welcome to Sal's Sports Circus.
Michael Short! Look at this, there's your long ball. Stretch! You can put it on the board! Yes!
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal. Today's show is brought to you by Cali Vegas, helping people just like you create and host your very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Cali Vegas can help you with everything you need to get out of sitting in hours of traffic like you're doing right now and host your very own talk show in your very own studio. Call Cali Vegas at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Or visit them online at calivegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And tell them the Sports Circus sent you. And a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, as well as those listening on Spotify and our streamers on thesportscircus.com. Folks, it is a circus. We've got a dog in here. We've got a youngster in here. We have a young lady in here. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nayeli Cordova.
What the hell are you doing in here?
I have no idea. That's what I'm still trying to figure out.
I'm trying to figure it out, too. I know, we're picking everybody up off the street. We got somebody over here running cameras. We're also live. We're also on channel 18.8 right here in Las Vegas. That would be KHMP 18.8 as well. I believe you could stream it there as well. So, folks, everybody here in Las Vegas, yes, we're on live TV and everything else. So it's mayhem, and we have Nayeli here. And why are you here again?
I forgot my notes. Whoops.
You forgot your notes.
I knew I had to write it down. Why am I here? We'll figure it out as we move along.
Let's figure it out now, because, you know, it might get worse down the road. We have a guest coming up at 1:15.
Well, last time I checked, let's see, last night I tried to take over the world, and I was trying to inform myself.
And who fired you?
I wasn't even hired. That I know
but
of.
You were trying to take the world over. You got to remember, this is a sports show, so there's competition. Who's competing with you?
Oh, you just said the magic word, competition. I believe with unique technique, there's no need to compete.
That's what I have to say.
You should have put crickets. You should have put crickets in the background.
No, I don't need crickets. I have an explosion. The explosion's a lot better.
That was something for people to think about. You know, I like things. I go home and I think about what to think about. That's very important. Thinking.
And why? Why do you spend so much time thinking?
Why not?
Why would you? Look, everybody sitting in traffic right now is wondering, why are you worried about thinking?
That's a great time to think.
No, it's a terrible time to think.
No, it isn't.
No,
That's
because
a great
you bump into the guy in front of you or behind you, or you don't check your blind spots, you run into somebody else over there.
That's exactly what I mean. People are so wild because they don't stop and think.
Oh, they don't stop to think. No, really.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Yeah, right. Everyone's
thinking. And if
thinking.
they're stuck in traffic, that's a wonderful time to think about things.
Yeah, and folks, you can reach her right now at...
Hey, maybe I'll give you a call sometime. Your number's still 911? Oh,
righty then.
Right. Okay, all right.
Just like that, only not.
So that would be Nayeli. All right. So anyway, this is a sports show. It is the Sports Circus. And folks, by the way, we have some really good special guests coming up, and that's at thesportscircus.com. Check out the website, and you can see all kinds of great guests coming up. I'm not even going to tell you. I don't have to tell you. Go to the website.
Come on, tell us.
No, but the fact is there's a lot of good people coming on. They're all good people, but a lot of superstars. We actually have 3 Hall of Fame football players coming on in the next couple of weeks or so, and also a very, very popular baseball World Series champion and manager as well. So these are some really big things that are happening for the Sports Circus, and let's face it, this is what we do here. We never know what's going to happen. That's why you're sitting here.
Yeah, you know, and if I was a puppy, I would be wiggling my little tail because I'm excited. I really am.
One of those in here. What's the dog's name? What's his name?
His name is Chongo.
All right, Chongo. All right, Chongo. So we're going to give you an astounding round of applause. All right, because we have a little dog in here. Trying to figure out why we have that. But nonetheless.
Well, the point here is that if I was a little puppy, I would be wiggling my little tail because that's how I feel. I'm just very excited. I'm looking forward
what if you had a large tail?
Well, that could work too. Whatever works for you. The size of the tail should not matter.
Right.
We're talking about an imaginary tail, anyways. But
I'm not talking. We have a dog with a tail
all I'm
in
trying
here.
to say is that I am so excited, looking forward to learning.
You have a dog that runs
from,
the agility course. It's an AKC champion, by the way.
I lost my train of thought. You just interrupted my inspiration.
That's
I was
because I
building
can't.
like a little volcano.
Well,
I
we
was
don't have
building
time for
in my
that.
inspiration. Well,
This
because
is
of
not the long, reflective show.
the people who you mentioned, I'm going to take a lot of notes because I'm educating myself even more
Help me, Rock.
in the sports field,
Help
the
me, Rock.
sports industry. Does that make sense? Because if it doesn't, it's okay.
Rock, help me. Are you around? Rock, are you there? Hello, Rock, are you there? Help me out, for Christ's sakes. The wheels are coming off.
I mean,
Crickets, please, in the background.
I'm just listening, trying to pick up some new information and some new life views from your guest over here.
New life fuse? This is not a life fuse
See, he
show.
thinks.
This is a circus.
That's because he thinks.
Life, and listen, we don't want to hear about his problems today. This is not about thinking. This has nothing to do with thinking.
Thinking is not a problem. It's a problem when you don't think.
Okay.
when problems
All right,
occur.
I'm not really sure how that works, but think about this. This is a sports show, and sometimes people outthink themselves on the field, on the court,
That's
on
true.
the ice, and thinking gets you into nothing but trouble.
But eventually everything's strategic.
Oh, okay. And how is
Right?
it strategic?
Well, you have to have a certain strategy with your moves.
Okay.
It's kind of like a little chess games.
If it's
like
okay,
that.
so if it's let's
something
say
like that.
you're in
Just
the
like
boxing
that, only
ring.
not.
Let's say you're in the boxing ring. If you're in the
Okay.
boxing ring, if you think too much, what happens?
If I was no, now that's
No,
a different
that's a
scenario. If I was
knockout.
in the boxing ring, I would just kick him right there and just move
You're gonna
on
kick
in
him
life.
in the boxing ring? No, you're not going to kick anybody. You're going to have to
Well,
use your
why not?
hands. No,
Well,
and maybe you're thinking the MMA
That's-
and the
that's
octagon.
true, that's true.
Right? So you like the cage match.
I'm just thinking of the fastest defense. That's all. The improv defense, because obviously I'm not there. So if I was there for whatever reason, randomly, then that's what I would do.
But you're not.
Exactly.
You're right
so what's
here.
your point?
My point is you're not making a point.
That's true. That
You're
means we
talking
gotta
in
think.
circles right now. See what this is one Rock, this is one big digression. Please clean this up, would you, Rock?
I'm just trying to follow the stream here.
Buddy, there is no stream.
I see
It's nothing but chaos. No, it's not working.
Well, we do appreciate you paying attention to our rhetoric. Nayeli Cordova at a theater near you.
Over?
Theory
You say
near you.
over? Nothing is over until we decide it is.
That would be me. All right, Rock, listen, man, we got about a minute left. Give me your best baseball something of the 4th of July weekend. Hurry up. And it doesn't have to be this year. It could be next year, the year after, or 10 years before. Now you got 50 seconds.
I got 50 seconds to say, at least from this year, because my memory is shot due to concussion, the funniest thing I saw was Joe Madden doing a spin move on Joe West. It looked like the worst offensive line and defensive lineman battle practice drill I've ever seen.
Joe West, I mean, how hard is it to, like, out-deke this guy? He's, what, about 300 pounds and about, 5'7"?
I mean, he's a biscuit under 400, I'd say.
A biscuit under 400. All right, well, guess what? For that biscuit, I'm getting hungry. All right, folks, we're going to be back here in a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. We have a special guest coming up. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a lot of fun and very informative. I think we're going to talk a little XFL. How about a little XFL, man? Don't go anywhere.
How about that?
Back in a few minutes.
I could see my buddy from Al's Beef over at 1079 West Taylor Street coming over there with a big cart and getting everybody Italian beef sandwiches, before the game or even
That'd be
after the
great.
game.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yes. Is that the
That'd be
best
great.
beef in Chicago, yes or no?
But the one I used to go on was the one on Ontario when you're heading out of town.
Right.
Like where Dickens' old restaurant was.
Yep.
It was a little small place, and they just had the ones like that.
That's on the south side of the street. I remember that one. Go down to Taylor Street. And
Right,
folks,
right across from Al's, right across from Maury Major's, man. Yeah,
well,
back in the day.
my question to you is Al's #1 Italian beef at 1079 West Taylor. If you got the big one, is it the best beef in the city, yes or
That
no?
would be the best. If you dip it and you get the jardinere, it's the best.
Yes!
You got to know how to eat those things, man. Dip it in jardinere.
Yeah, you got to have the peppers. Folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, if you happen to be from Philadelphia, for example, you have that you have that awful fried cheesesteak sandwich thing, right? Where it's made on a flat top, but they put some onions and crap with it, and then they'll put some cheese whiz on it, and they'll call that a sandwich of sorts. It's a difference between cooking and frying, right or wrong.
Yeah, oh, definitely, definitely. Like I said, you got to get it wet. You got to get it wet. Dunk it in that au jus sauce.
That's right.
And
And,
just start chowing away, man.
and then you got to get your
Stop.
elbows on the counter. And like what Bones had said from Al's, you got to dive into it and just put your face right into it. You know, he's been on TV so many times, but he's been on this show a bunch of times too. He's friends of the show. But I have to tell you, folks, if you haven't been there for some strange reason, 1079 West Taylor Street in Chicago, right in the heart of Little Italy. If you don't want to go there, if you don't feel like driving, goldbelly.com. I get nothing for saying this. I just get my beef there. I get my Italian beef from there because I live here in Vegas.
Only at the Sports Circus.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm Roy Firestone. Now it's time to throw it back to Sal.
And that's another thing. Those Dodger fans, Sal, I mean, sitting on their hands, they were not ferocious like the Boston faithful over there.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's the reason you had 2-out rallies, because you have fans that are behind them, and the Dodger fans are weak.
No, a 2-out rally is predicated on what those hitters are doing at the plate. When you look at what the Boston Red Sox hitters were doing, they were shortening up the stroke, they were getting up on the bat, they're rotating the knuckles. They were doing all the right things to get around on everything and protect the plate. The Dodgers were still swinging for the fences, even with 2-strike counts. They were not willing to hit the ball the other way for the most part. Even when the shift was on, hell, they could have laid down a little 99 hopper to third base if they're a left-handed stick. But they weren't doing it. The hitting mechanics and the hitting coaches are just simply better over in Boston, and they prepared their hitters to do the right thing. That's what made the difference with that 2-out hitting. They shortened everything up, and they made contact. They put the ball in play. My favorite one had to do with the Green Bay Packers. And I love the fact that they dealt off Ty Montgomery because of a blown assignment. Green Bay isn't Green Bay unless they have a good running game. Then they can win 10 Super Bowls. The fact is, you don't have a running game. You've got 70% passing, and that's not where Aaron Rodgers needs to be. He needs to be in a position where he's got a running game to offset the passing game and so forth. I like the move. Green Bay didn't have a running game anyway, so all they're doing is saying, we're going to get rid of you because you don't follow instructions.
Well, he made one of the most boneheaded plays I've ever seen. There's 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock. The coach tells him, take a knee in the end zone because we have one timeout, plus we'll have the 2-minute warning. And for some reason, he runs it out of the end zone. He runs it 20 yards in. Yeah. Donkey. Yeah, whatever that was.
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's a donkey or something from Godfather 3. Yeah.
And he needed to be canned for that very reason, and so they dealt him off to the Baltimore Ravens. And now he'll get some playing time over there, which is good, but good news for Green Bay is they cut bait immediately. They said, you can't follow instructions, you can't be here.
I'm shocked they didn't cut him on Monday. They traded him on Tuesday.
They should have cut him on Sunday night.
He shouldn't have been on the plane back to Green Bay.
Right, they should have made him walk back to Green Bay.
No, it was a terrible play. Now, he's not a stupid guy. He went to Stanford. He's not a dumb guy.
He's not a dumb guy, but he doesn't follow instructions.
He made a terrible play. And even if he got tackled and didn't fumble, it's a bad play.
The fact is he didn't follow instructions. And you say he's not a dumb guy. Therefore, his own agenda he put ahead of his team.
I agree.
Thus, he is a dumb guy. Right or wrong?
Wrong. He just got selfish. You're not going to convince me that a guy from Stanford's a dum-dum.
No!
But I also like it that Green Bay made another trade.
Yeah, this is Sidney Justin from the Miracles.
So you heard yesterday's show at Roy Firestone. Didn't you hear a little clip about him going into the office where Smokey was at? And that was really good material, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really funny, man.
Yeah, and then you heard him.
I thought it was hilarious. It was cool, though. It was cool. Really cool story, man. I enjoyed listening to that.
Right, and then he gave a couple of bars. Can you give us a couple of more from Ooh Baby Baby? And let's see if you could do it better than Roy Firestone. Come on, man!
All right, you know what? Why not? I did you wrong. My heart went out to play, but in the game I lost you. What a price to pay. Hey, I'm crying. Ooh, baby, baby. How's that, man?
That's
Is that okay? Is that good
man.
enough?
That's incredible.
Hey everyone, Dave Jackson here, ESPN rules analyst on ESPN Hockey, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. Folks, make sure you check out thesportscircus.com for upcoming guests, a prior guest, or recorded shows, which can be found on Apple, Amazon, Audible, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Stitcher, Deezer, plus a whole bunch of others. Also, make sure you check out the partners page at thesportscircus.com. Our favorite partner, and of course, it'll be one of yours once you try them out, is Al's Number One Italian Beef, 1079 West Taylor Street in Chicago's Little Italy. That's Al's Number One Italian Beef. Check them out, folks. If you can't get over there, 1079 West Taylor Street in Chicago's Little Italy at alsbeef.com. That's alsbeef.com. Boy, it's some incredible food. Boy, they put together that Italian beef sandwich 117 years ago. They've been in business since 1938. Check them out at alsbeef.com and tell them the circus sent you. Yes! Yes!
We have a very special guest with us today. In fact, I'm going to let him introduce himself. Go ahead.
Well, my name is Michael Keller, and I'm I don't know where else you want to go from there. I'm a former University of Michigan Wolverine and Dallas Cowboy, and I spent 40 years in professional football with different leagues, different teams, in startup phases in NFL Europe, and worked directly at one time for Commissioner Roger Goodell.
Wow. Quite a resume, young man.
Yeah.
Not bad. I think that's about 400 things more than I have done in my world. And we've got a very young lady with us here, as a matter of fact.
Very young.
She might jump in, Mike, and ask a question or two. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself, if you would.
Hi, Mike. I'm Nayeli Cordova. And I just...
Hello, Maya. How are you?
I'm doing well,
I
thank
took her
you.
in off the street. She was at the bus stop, so I pulled her in here.
Yeah, just to make fun of my nails.
Oh, good.
I'm kidding.
For one little black dot, I have dirty
whatever,
nails.
kids.
Dirty and nerdy.
Isn't that awful?
It's awful,
So-
yes.
Well, good. Are you a big sports gal?
Here's the thing. I have to make a quite particular disclaimer. I am a little bit, a tad, perhaps, I'm very ignorant with sports. I do like them, but I am excited to educate myself even more in sports. Yeah, I'm an artist. I'm in entertainment, blah, 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 yada, yada. So that's more of my expertise.
So
Well, that's what sports is entertainment.
Right, so she
Yes.
is...
Sports is entertainment, so we're in the same genre.
Well, you know, I was former chairman of the fashion committee with Sanyo Entertainment and Sports Lawyers. So I was trying to pick the brains of those lawyers with entertainment law. I tried, and I learned a lot.
I know. We try to keep the lawyers as far away from the sport as possible, but insidiously they've insinuated themselves into almost everything we do. So we have to put up with them.
All I can say, they have their ways.
Right, they insert
Well,
themselves...
actually, I was enrolled in law school at one time, but I chose the Dallas Cowboys over law school. So we'll figure.
Nice. Well, it's funny. I was a baseball player. And then I went to law school years later, but I don't practice because I don't want to represent anybody else. I just do all my own legal work. And I got to tell you, Mike, that's the safest way to do it. So now I don't have anybody chasing me down saying, hey, you didn't win this case. You didn't win this. I didn't get enough money. I don't want to hear that crap.
And you save a lot of money, too, because they're expensive.
Yes. All right, so I want you to talk a little bit about the USFL. Now, this goes back, for a lot of people that don't know about the USFL, give everybody the 30-second on the USFL and its relation to the NFL.
Well, the USFL started in the early 80s. It was kind of came about because, the NFL had kind of gone uncontested for, since the American Football League was rolled into the NFL. And so the United States came about because a lot of guys with more money than sense thought that by playing in the spring that they could carve out their own niche, and actually went. I was part of the Michigan Panthers, and our owner was an industrialist, real estate guy named Taubman, Alfred Taubman. And he owned a lot of real estate in Troy and in Detroit, and he was a big sports fan, and so he bought the franchise for Michigan. We named them the Michigan Panthers, kind of going along with the Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my! And he kind of told us, I have one requirement, and I want you to win. and we said, okay, we can do that. And of course, when the USFL started, you may not know this, but they had very strict spending controls on the teams. And Mr. Taubman got his lawyers together and said that was blatantly antitrust. They cannot control on what we spend. And you go out and get the best players that you can. I'll back you up, and there's no way that they can stop us. And so we went out and we started a spending spree. And the first thing that I did was, having been in the game long enough, I knew that, you could get all the fast, speedy quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs that you want. But if you didn't have anybody blocking for them, those guys are just going to get beat up quick. So I went out and basically hired away the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. And of course, the Steelers were the best in the game at that time. And we signed 3 of the starting Pittsburgh Steelers offensive linemen, and filled them in with a couple of Michigan guys. And we protected Bobby Hebert, our quarterback, and he had time to throw to Anthony Carter.
Bobby was a good one.
And Derek Holloway, and the rest was history. We went on and won the USFL championship that first year, which was really big for Detroit because Detroit hadn't really won anything in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute since Detroit's won something. That's for sure. I think it's been.
Well, we were heroes. We were big time heroes, and they loved the way we played. It was kind of wide open, and we scored a lot. And we'd get behind and come back and win games. And we had something called the territorial draft. We had first claim on all the players from the state of Michigan, basically. So we were able to protect 5 players each from University of Michigan, Michigan State, Eastern, Western, and Central Michigan. So we were well represented in our state, and that was real popular, in the USFL at that time for all the teams. Whether it was Oklahoma or Southern Cal or Northern Cal. There's not too many football. There's a lot of football players come out of New York, but they don't play there. They go elsewhere. So
right.
But Donald Trump was the owner of Donald Trump was the owner of the New Jersey General. So I probably spent kind of an interesting thing now since he's president. I probably spent 30-day long meetings with Donald, where he was trying to impress everybody on how much football he knew when he really didn't know jack. You know what?
Yeah, we can't really say that. Okay, so the USFL did have a lot of success. It did stick around for a while, but then it had a demise. And then many years later, we saw something called the XFL come to fruition.
Well,
you were involved with that as well.
I was the first guy hired for the XFL. I was the first guy hired for the XFL. Now, let me tell you real quickly why the demise of the USFL. The USFL was playing in the spring, and they decided to go to the fall. Okay, and they wanted to play in the fall head-to-head with the NFL because they felt they were strong enough. The problem was that the NFL had all of the networks tied up and exclusive contracts, and so none of the networks could take us on, even the ones that had televised us in the spring. And that led to a lawsuit, antitrust suit against the NFL, which the USFL won. But it took 3 years for it to wind its way through. So by the time the USFL finally won, and weren't given a large payout, so basically what it did is it just dwindled away and never started up again. So anyway, the XFL was started by another unique individual, and that is Vince McMahon, the WWF guy, and he always loved football, and he said, it's time to bring back spring football. And so we went on, but we're going to do it, a lot differently. And I'm an old football guy. I'm not so entrenched that I'm not open to ideas, but he had a lot of things that he wanted to do and did a lot of things that that a lot of the fans were too crazy about.
Okay,
and actually it didn't last very long.
Okay, so listen, we have about a minute and a half left. When you were a part of that XFL team that came together, I'm saying the corporate team or the organizing team, if you will, how many teams?
Right.
Obviously, you started with a certain amount, and was the goal to match the NFL's amount of teams from a city by city basis, or were you looking to have other cities that did not qualify for the NFL, but maybe kind of like a franchise?
Our goal was that. Yeah, our goal was to have a combination. We knew we needed the television ratings, so we had to have in New York, we needed
right.
Chicago and some of the big towns, but we also branched out. We had a team in Tulsa, I believe, so we went and got some smaller cities. So we wanted to have a combination to take football to areas that didn't have it before and kind of be a combination. That was our goal.
Right. That's what I was alluding to.
We eventually wanted to have 16 to 20 teams was to eventually grow to that size.
Sure. All right. Well, looking at the 16 teams, I could see how that really could work ideally in a playoff format, even if you take half the teams. And we see that right now in a lot of the sports, and whether it's basketball or hockey. And hell, I mean, we're starting to say, I think another wild card team might be added into the baseball world as well. Anyway, folks, we're going to be back here in just a few minutes with Mike Keller. He's a founding father of the USFL, the XFL, and NFL Europe. Also a former linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. Back here in a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere.
That's the sound of sizzling, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks from UppercutChops.com. Their best-in-class filet mignons, New York steaks, and the king of all steaks, the tomahawk and cowboy cut ribeyes are the best in the business. Even their Prime Wagyu burgers will likely be the best you've ever had. Browse the full selection of steaks and chops at UppercutChops.com from the comfort of your home or on your mobile device. UppercutChops.com delivers all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops directly to your door, without the hassle of going to the grocery store and fight crowds to pick from a small selection of average and best meats with injected steroids, fillers, and coloring added to look good. Find out what's for dinner at UppercutChops.com or call 714-948-0100. 714-948-0100. 714-948-0100. Or make your selection directly at UppercutChops.com.
Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. That's 800-932-5517.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935, or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Hey everybody, this is Brian Urlacher. Welcome back to the Sports Circus.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. Folks, make sure to check out thesportscircus.com again for our upcoming guests, our prior guests, or recorded shows, which can be found on many of those streaming platforms. Also, head on over to the store tab at thesportscircus.com. Pick up your favorite items: hats, hoodies, t-shirts, beanie caps, sweatpants, coats, travel mugs, coffee mugs, pillows, mouse pads, you name it. They're all there at thesportscircus.com. A shameless plug for our American-made products with our amazing logo on there. And in fact, if you want to know a little bit more about the logo, info@thesportscircus.com will tell you a little bit more about it. It's kind of a clever design, and you'll learn a little bit more about it and about us. And so check out, again, thesportscircus.com. A shameless plug for the circus.
Master Sal here with Nayeli Cordova and Mike Keller, founding father of the USFL, XFL, and NFL Europe, former Dallas Cowboy linebacker. Thanks for joining us again, Mike.
Yes.
All right. Just saying thanks for joining. Listen, folks, it's live. Anything could happen. You never know. So, Mike, I want to follow up a little bit more on the XFL, because, we have the XFL's reforming, and what can you tell everybody about that? Because, the XFL is maybe Vince McMahon's being a little bit kind of under the, kind of on the down low on this. Doesn't really say too much about it.
I'm kind of mystified about what exactly are they trying to do, because, I was involved in the first go-around, and I received a call from them, or I had a conversation with them, and I offered my services, to help them from an organizational standpoint, although I wasn't really interested in being full-time. But I'm really not sure what they're trying to do. They've been very secretive about, at least I haven't seen it, where or maybe nobody's paying attention, where the city's going to be. And, but Vince is really a creative guy. He sees the world from a different point of view. And, and as he goes about it, he doesn't do it the conventional way. He does it from, I guess the left brain, or whatever they call it, that nobody really understands what the heck he's trying to do. And right now, I don't understand what he's trying to do. And, and of course, the NBC was negotiating with the NFL, and that kind of, pissed Vince off. So he just said, if I don't have a reliable television partner, he just shut the whole league down. That's kind of the way he operates. Despite the thousands of people that were employed by him, he just said, get your last check, and adios, thanks for the memories. And that was it.
Okay, so that being said, look, you're closer to this than anybody else that I know of in my circle, or frankly in most circles at all. So you would have a better idea. Maybe it's just the old blitzkrieg idea. Maybe he's just trying to drop a bunch of really cool thoughts at one time, instead of just trying to say, all right, here's what we're going to do, here's what we're going to do, here's what we're going to do. You know what I mean?
Well, everybody advised him, including me, to not come out with, all of his crazy ideas right off the bat. Because football fans are used to watching a football game a certain way. So don't alienate them before you have a chance to win them, was kind of the advice that we gave him.
Right.
You know, he was doing crazy. He was doing the crotch shots with the cheerleaders and stuff like that. You know, and he actually was the instigator of all that. Because you know, he wanted people talking about the XFL around the water cooler. He felt that was the way, you know, to make the league successful. Whereas you know, it doesn't happen overnight. And frankly, with what we were paying, we weren't going to get the kind of players that we got in the United States Football League. We're only paying the players $45,000. The NFL was averaging $2 million at that point. And so we weren't going to take anybody away from the NFL, nor were we going to get anybody away that you know, was probably making more than that in college.
Mike,
so it was tough for us.
Okay, Mike, I'm in the personal development area, and there's a very important question I've been meaning to ask you. So, when you had your shoulder injury, you got injured and you had shoulder surgery, correct?
Surgery.
How
yes.
How much of an impact did that make in your psychologically? And if you wouldn't have had that injury, where would you have seen yourself? You know, how did you recover? Also?
Well, I was a pretty high draft pick, and I was you know, the Dallas Cowboys at the time had been very successful. They'd won the Super Bowl the year before. You know, in fact, I played against them in the College All-Star game, which they don't play anymore. But anyways, the College All-Stars against the NFL champion, and they had all these aging linebackers: Chuck Hawley, Leroy Jordan, and Dave Edwards. They were all in their mid-30s. So I mean, their time was coming, and so you know, they realized they had to start you know, getting some new linebackers in, and I was you know, a fairly high pick. We had a second-round pick named John Babinez out of Villanova, and I was a third-round pick out of Michigan, and I think we were the heirs apparent. And
so what?
And I think my shoulder injury came at a very inopportune time, in that you know, in the National Football League, it's pretty cold-hearted. You know, a shoulder injury for a linebacker is not necessarily the death knell, but the injury that I had was one that they thought would take too long for me to come back. So I think that they actually started phasing me out pretty quickly.
Right.
Another interesting thing, and you may find interesting, but when the Cowboys brought me in my rookie season, before I scouted for the Cowboys after my rookie season. So I was an active player, and I was a full-time scout in the off season.
Yeah,
so
you made huge changes in your career.
It never happened before or since that I was a scout. I was looking for players to replace myself with. Mm-hmm. So, and I probably was a better scout than I was a football player. But anyway, what it did for me, what the Cowboys did for me, is it led to a 40-year career in football, whereas it very seldom do you ever have players who move on and become scouts and then administrators.
Okay, so listen, Mike, we are getting ready to wrap up this segment, and we're going to ask you to go ahead and get all your interest out there. And look, I understand you may be a fisherman. Do a little fishing, get in line in the water. What do you think?
Well, I'm looking at my stream right now. I'm out of my back patio. It's the Muskegon River, and I've got my fly rod is within reach.
Nice.
And I also have my spin casting rod across the way. And if I see some activity out there, and sometimes the trout will rise, and feed on the, I grab my pole and I go out there and try to hook them. And I catch a few, but I'm not going to live off the fish I catch. But it is fun, and it's a beautiful spot, and I really enjoy it.
That's great. All right, listen, how can people follow you? How can they follow your, I don't know whether it's social media or you have a website, any causes or whatever? You have about 1 minute, and then we're out of here for the segment. What do you think?
Well, I tell you what, I'm about to be involved in several projects. One thing I do is I give speeches for Gigmaster throughout the Midwest.
Excellent.
Gigmasters is the National Speakers Bureau. so they can go to Gigmasters and see where I may be, giving a speech. I talk about leadership, and I talk about team development and individual development, and it's good for the corporate world as well as for the for sports teams. It kind of has applications across the board. So other than that, I'm enjoying retirement, but I kind of dabble in a bunch of stuff, and I'm enjoying myself in my retirement.
Excellent. Well, Mike, thanks for joining us today here on the Sports Circus. And Mike is a fellow guy with ties to Oak Park, where I grew up. That would be suburban Chicago, and an astounding round of applause for that. Excellent. Mike, be sure to stay in touch.
My sainted daddy was from Oak Park, so God bless him.
Excellent. Be sure to stay in touch. Mike, I'll talk to you probably over the weekend or so, but very, very nice of you to join us here on the Sports Circus. And, folks, we're going to be back in just a few minutes with a lot more to come. Maybe a surprise or two. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Buck Dharma of Blue Oyster Cult, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
The sports world. It's a circus.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas.
Score, put the ball down, give it to the referee. And I don't even care if you slam it down, but you don't have to dance. You don't have to call your mom on the phone. You don't have to go
The Sports Circus is a 1-hour primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC News, and CNBC radio affiliates, plus Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, WOW cable TV affiliates across North America and nationwide in upscale hotels and resorts on hotel television in all 210 Nielsen-rated markets.
Just like a circus. My life is just a party, and parties weren't meant to last. Dickerson.
Jason Hook, Zarbler from Five Finger Death Punch.
Brian Urlacher. John Stockton.
Jim Tunney. Roger Craig.
Andre Reed.
Mario Andretti.
Herschel Walker.
Dwight Firestone.
Eric Dickerson.
My name is Curtis Blow. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. I'm here on the Sports Circus.
The Sports Circus brings top sports and entertainment content and is delivered fully produced and is easy pass-through traffic for radio stations. Simply drop the program in your traffic manager. The full 59-minute, 50-second file will coordinate with the clock. Your local station receives up to 4 minutes of local avails during the Sports Circus broadcast, and it's a great lead to live sports and entertainment.
Well, if you're going to talk about our congressman being crooked, why not talk about commercial products who don't do what they represent to do?
Yes! Big Billy here. He certainly knows something about making things difficult on the competition.
He's a punisher. Yeah, just break the ribs.
Yeah,
I still haven't broke someone's collarbone yet in a boxing match.
That's a great statement. I have not broke someone's collarbone in the ring yet.
I've never heard that before.
Is there a reason you said in the ring?
I can't wait.
Is it that you've broken collarbones just outside of the ring? You did catch that, right? He said in the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
He got him on the curtain. He got him on the edge of the ring and broke his collarbone.
Hey, this is Tommy John, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
I had to get Sal's name right.
Well, that
Sal the floor
happened.
sweeper. That's his new name.
Sal the bookkeeper.
Yeah, but even my name, even my last name.
Add that one to the bank,
But no, Alicia, you even got my last name wrong. That's why I said my
I know it
colon
starts
was
with a
bleeding.
V. It starts with a V.
He said a V. Really? Quick, where's the punch sound? 400 punches.
Here's the punch sound.
Right, exactly. Look, he almost knocked out the microphone.
Alicia, that's why they have cue cards, babe. That's so don't let the name bother you. Just bring a cue card with you next time.
But people can't read my name off a cue card.
Or change your name to Joe Smith or something. Jeez, make it easy.
This is Sal Tuzzolino, host and ringmaster of the Sports Circus. Why listen to the same old dog and pony show that you've heard all day long? The Sports Circus covers everything that other shows don't or are too scared to cover. There's no primetime show like it on air that'll punch you in the mouth and you'll beg for more. Also, you could call in and participate with our chaos if you dare. Join me and celebrity guests for Havoc and Mayhem. Remember, folks, it's a circus, and we prove it every day. I want to try to instill some of this winning environment for this particular team. What's been your experience? Kevin, we're going to start with you. What was your experience going from Team A to Team B and bringing that Super Bowl experience to the next team?
You know, they were kind of getting on me, wanting me to chill out a little bit, not play a game on a Wednesday and Thursday. But I always felt that, you know, you got to play at game day speed on Wednesday and Thursday so that you're instinctive and you can play on game day speed on game day.
The Sports Circus is received well on all radio formats and is currently aired on sports, news, and music stations.
President of the Vegas Golden Knights, George McPhee.
Ron Jaworski.
Al Bubba Baker.
Brett Saberhagen.
The father of the first family of drag racing,
John Ford.
Ricky Stenhouse.
It's a circus and we prove it every day.
Aaron Fink. Breaking Benjamin.
Jason Hartlett. Drummer for rock legend Ted Nugent.
Kenny Aronoff with John Fogerty, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and Elton John. Stevie Wonder, Joe Walsh, John Mellencamp.
Hey, brother.
Hey, we know quality content is hard to find, so if you're ready to have the Sports Circus in your market, give us a call right now at 714-948-0100. That's 714-948-0100. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on your favorite station. Until then, so long, everyone.
This is Dwayne Clemens, former Bengals, Chiefs, and Viking, and you're watching the Sports Circus.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. This segment brought to you in part by our friends at the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check them out at csncoyotes.com for upcoming games and events. That's the College of Southern Nevada Athletics, csncoyotes.com. Folks, make sure you check them out.
And a big welcome back to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, and those watching us on KHMP Television right here in Las Vegas, 18.8 if you're here in Vegas. And guess what, folks? The shows are going to be archived, so if you want to watch this mayhem again, maybe we'll get the little puppy that's here on camera. Maybe we'll get him on camera as well. What's his name again?
Chongo.
Chongo. And what's your name again? What are you doing in here?
It depends what mood I'm in.
And what's your name again? So everybody.
Last time I checked, it's still Nayeli.
Nayeli
Cordova.
It makes me want to say Telemundo and Sábado Gigante. I love that.
Yeah, it's just like that, only not.
But I love that, though.
Well, you keep loving it.
Well, I like it.
But it's not, this is not, well, I would say this is not Burger King. You can't have it your way, but then again, it's your show.
Oh, it's
so.
the cliche queen has shown up.
So, whatever.
Oh.
Guess you could do whatever you want because it's your show.
All right. So I got to tell you, here's something unusual. Now, we've seen there's young people around and so forth, little 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and toddlers in some cases. But imagine this: a toddler. Wait a minute, I'm on a roll right now. A toddler. Are you done?
No. Oh, because it's your show. Okay, there. It's your turn.
All right. Now it's my turn. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Mercy. So a toddler bought. I'm just going to mute you. There. That's it. I muted her mic. I had to because she just wouldn't stop. Anyways, but a toddler bought a $430 couch on Amazon while playing with her mom's telephone. That's unbelievable. How in the world does that happen? How does that happen? I will never know.
It happens. That and more.
Well, but of course it happened in California. A California mother got quite a surprise when she discovered her toddler purchased that $430 couch on Amazon. Amazon, you owe us money. And she says, quote, "I was so shocked," close quote. Now, Isabella McNeil told NBC Channel 7, quote, "I thought, did I buy a couch in my sleep?" Close quote. That's ridiculous. Right? But it turns out McNeil's 2-year-old daughter, Raina, was the clicking culprit. McNeil, who had recently been browsing on Amazon you owe us money, and browsing on Amazon for a new couch, received a notification from Amazon that her purchase had been shipped. That's hilarious. Quote, "I said, what? What couch? My couch is shipped. I didn't remember ordering a couch," close quote, McNeil said to NBC. She then remembered that the previous week, young Raina had requested to play with her mom's cell phone, saying, "Mama, phone, mama, phone." The toddler unknowingly utilized the buy it now and one-click button with Amazon, prompting an order for a gray tufted couch to be completed. Now, while McNeil attempted to cancel the order, she was unable to do so. So there was a $79 restocking fee, as well as the bill for around $100 to ship it back in a large box, of course, that you have to repurchase from Amazon. By the way, Amazon, you owe us money. Lo and behold, the couch arrived on her doorstep in a large cardboard box soon thereafter. That is absolutely hilarious.
Get out of town.
That's the real. That's the real.
Get out of here.
And only in California this is where it happens. It wouldn't happen in Chicago or New York or Florida. It has to happen in sunny Southern California. That's
it's a Cali
ridiculous.
thing.
Now, could you imagine looking on your phone, maybe a child or something was playing on your telephone, and suddenly you bought a couch?
It's crazy. What's next? You know,
I don't know
it's
what's
going to escalate
next.
from there.
Let's find out what
The way
Raina
it's
is going
going.
to purchase next.
You know what's next? We actually have a little girl that's 6 years old out of Utah named Caitlin who bought $400 worth of Barbies on her mom's Amazon account.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. She just wanted their mom. Yeah, right? That is an entrepreneurial
That's something I would have done.
Spirit right there.
As a little girl.
She told her mom, "I want to look at the date that it's going to come in," because she got a Barbie for doing extra chores. Unbeknownst to the mom, she starts punching around and orders $400 worth of accessories for it.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Clever kid.
And, you know, we had a little puppy running the camera here at KHMP just a little while ago. I can't imagine what the puppy may have hit or may not. So we don't know. We don't know what the television audience is seeing. We don't have a monitor showing us back. But I'm very interested to see if maybe the puppy did a reverse camera so it could show itself. I don't really know. What do you think?
I wasn't actually thinking about that.
Why not?
Why?
Come on, Scratch Master. What else you got?
But it goes a little something like this.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Stop it! All right. All right. So, Rock, imagine a dog running a camera. This is crazy. Folks, it is a circus, and believe me, we prove it every day. That was coined by Colonel Bucky. Colonel Bucky used to be with us, a couple of years ago. He ran the board when we were over at SB Nation right here in Las Vegas. But they have, of course, had since reformed and so forth. So we're right here at 1400 KSHP in Las Vegas. But, Rock, I got to tell you, having a dog behind camera is something I've never seen. The dog was dancing in between to the music that was on. It was crazy.
What did you take before the show? I didn't see that.
It's right in
you
front
gotta
of you. How
share
could you
it.
not see it?
Jeez,
Look
whatever you took, you
even
gotta
our
share
cameraman's
it.
acting like you
Kind
got
of
a bottle.
beer, or you got you bottle of beer or something, a little something you took that you're not sharing.
nothing.
I mean, who imagines
There's
that?
a bottle across
what
the
kind of
next table
imagination
over.
is that? I saw nothing.
Rock, she saw everything. She's doing what women do. They tell white lies, right?
White lies.
I don't know about
really?
that. I mean,
Why? How do lies have colors?
I don't know. I never knew
Why?
that.
Why are you putting colors to lies?
That is a phrase. It
so
is.
when is it an orange lie? Since
I don't
orange
know.
is your favorite
I
color.
love orange. Absolutely. I love orange. And by the way, Rock,
Orange
I got a wonderful gift bag here today from our esteemed guest hostess. That would be Nayeli Cordova. And it's with all kinds of orange stuff. I got an orange frisbee. So we can play orange frisbee out in the parking lot. And some Fanta orange, some orange juice, some circus peanuts because they're orange as well. Gotta love the circus peanuts. This is the circus, of course, right?
That's right.
Excellent.
Frisbee, it's a sports related.
Right, so we had to keep the sports theme going.
Yes.
That's very exciting. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. That was very cool.
Thank you very much.
Did our cameraman have anything to do with that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so I guess
put
that
in all the
means yes.
work. I just put his name
Did you? Oh, so you brought the gift and you wrote his name on it?
Of course.
Oh, is
it would
that-
be kind of weird just for me.
So now he's giving you that look. You know that look? You got that look in your eye.
Oh, it's okay. I could take care of that later.
Rock, you know that look, man? Rock, you know that look, man?
What, me?
Rock, are you rolling?
Did you know what I'm talking about, man?
I know what you're talking about, me.
All right, man, just checking.
Are you talking to me or are you talking about me?
Hey, don't worry about that.
Oh, I worry.
All right.
I worry.
So is this your first time on the radio?
No,
How many times have you been on radio?
several times.
Really? What's the
Yeah.
last time you were on?
With Marcus Noel, the Soul Suite in San
I
Diego.
didn't ask you to plug a show.
Oh,
I just
what?
asked you when was the last time.
Well, okay. Jeez. Okay, a year and a half. A year and a half.
A year and a half ago.
And some.
Hence the tongue noise that she just made.
Well, it helped me remember more.
And when's the last time you were on television? Now, folks, she does run the runway, and you're a ballerina as well, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't dance. I just walk on my toes. I stay on point.
Of course, so she stays on point.
Literally.
Oh, and
those
the jokes start to come
those
in.
point puns.
Okay.
Gotta love them.
So how long have you ran the runway?
I've been walking the runway for 15 years.
15 years.
Well, hey, whatever helps you just be in the mode or remember things.
Okay, so we have 30 seconds left.
Yes.
Go ahead and plug your social media so people could follow you.
Ballet Catwalk, Ballet Runway on Facebook, Nayeli Cordova, and Nayeli Art Modeling and Personal Development Training.
How do you spell Nayeli for all those that can't spell today?
And really quick parentheses, Nayeli Art Reality Theories. Nayeli.
Nayeli. All right, well, thanks for joining us today, young lady.
Hey, thank you for having me, Sal. Thank you. Really
Lots of
enjoyed
fun,
this
lots of mayhem. It's always
Yes.
it's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Folks, we're going to be back tomorrow with a very special guest. So whatever you do, make sure you tune in 23 hours. We're going to be back here on the circus. Thanks for everybody joining us, especially Mike Keller. A very, very fun guest. And by the way, he's going to be back with us when we do talk XFL. So for Nayeli Cordova
curtsy.
Mike Keller, I'm your Ringmaster Sal, and we'll see you next time right here on your favorite station. Until then,
Sal.
so long, everyone.
Ciao, bye, cut.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935, or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal of the Sports Circus, a primetime nationally syndicated television, radio, sports, and entertainment show. The Sports Circus covers topics others are too scared to talk about. There's no other primetime show like it out here that'll punch you in the face and you'll beg for more. Join me, Hall of Famers, world champions, and all-star celebrity guests for chaos and controversy here on Libsyn and all podcast platforms, plus thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
Can't beat fun at the old ballpark, friends. Hi, pop fly. That would be a home run in a phone booth. I don't know what the big deal about Cracker Jack is. Did you ever go and buy a pack of Cracker Jack thinking you're going to get a prize and find no prize in the box? Here's the pitch. That might not sound important to some people, but when you're a little kid, especially from humble origin, and they cheat you out of a prize. There's a bouncing ball. Second baseman has a Barbary over to first. It's hard to think in laudatory terms of the product.
I think if there was an occasional box of Cracker Jacks that found no prizes for the little Harry Carey many years ago.
You got that right. And boy, when a box of Cracker Jack to me meant a lot of money. Here's a pitch, bounce foul. That's the most asinine marketing I've ever heard of. 1 ball, 1 strike. These guys say, well, you sing about Cracker Jack. I said that I only sing it because it's in the song. Here's a pitch, foul back. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised, even to this day, some youngsters who buy a box of Cracker Jack don't find a prize in the box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Well, if you're going to talk about our congressman being crooked, here's a pitch, foul out of play. Why not talk about commercial products that don't do what they represent to do? They told me when they hired me it was a temporary job. Born and raised in St. Louis, and you can imagine the Cardinals were my favorite team from the day I could remember. And all of a sudden, the miracle of life, I'm broadcasting Card games. I own the town and broadcast them for 25 years, and I thought they're going to give me a gold watch, and they gave me a pink slip. Then I went out to work for Charlie Finley for a year, and that's par for the course. Came to Chicago, and I was with the White Sox 11 years, and now with the Cubs. Never missed a game, never missed a time at bat, never missed a half inning that I was supposed to do. You know, Chicago is such a marvelous city. Hey, we got some Chicago people. You know, you never succeed in this business until you've had the experience of working with a terrible hangover. Not until you've been able to come through with flying colors under those circumstances can you consider yourself a professional. Lord knows, I've had more than my share of hangovers. There's a drive, way back, it might be, it could be, and it is. Holy cow! This crowd is wild.